For a small business owner, every day is full of surprises. Some great, some not so great. Like when a client cancels their order at the last minute. But here's a surprise you will like. Progressive provides small business owners with 30 customizable coverage options to help keep their business going strong. So go ahead, surprise yourself. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates and third-party insurers. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Just to be chaotic, I think if you haven't had a book out since before COVID and you do not, hell, you're a debut. It starts.
So do you think Tiari Jones is a debut?
Yeah, and it's so impressive that she.
It's so impressive what she's done with Kin for a debut. It's incredible.
No, I mean, I think the part that I'm really just trying to say, any book coming out right now feels like a subversion and a weird kind of insurrection against the tide of what is happening to the attention economy.
Yes,
and that part feels wild. Like when I look around, I'm like, books are so trending. However, nobody really wants new books and nobody really wants books by like authors.
Welcome to The Stacks, a podcast about books and the people who read them. I'm your host, Tracy Thomas, and today we are joined by best-selling author Mary H.K. Choi. She's here to discuss her first adult novel, Pool House. Set against the backdrop of Hollywood, this book explores the complex relationship between Stevie and her mother, Moon, as they move into their glass-walled pool house when financial struggles force them to rent out their home. Today, Mary and I talk about writing a book in today's attention economy. We talk about the differences between YA and adult literary spaces, and Mary shares one of the best answers to the reading snacks question we have ever had on the podcast. Get excited, people. Our book club pick for June is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and we'll discuss the book with Mary H.K. Choi on Wednesday, June 24th. Everything we talk about on each episode of The Stacks is linked in our show notes. And if you like this podcast, if you want more of it, if you want bookish content, if you want a readerly community, consider joining the Stacks Pack on Patreon and subscribing to my newsletter Unstacked on Substack. At each place, you're going to get different perks, things like our bonus episode, access to the Discord, monthly book club conversations, my nonfiction reading guide. It's all sorts of stuff. And when you join, you make it possible for me to make this podcast. So head to patreon.com/thestacks to join the Stacks Pack, and you can subscribe to my newsletter at tracythomas.substack.com. All right, now it is time for my conversation with Mary H.K. Choi. All right, everybody, this is a day I've been waiting for. I finally get to have one of my favorite people, one of the coolest people I know, even though she'll say she's not cool, but don't listen to her. She doesn't know anything. It is Mary H.K. Choi back in the Stacks. Welcome back, Mary.
Yay, I'm so happy. Like, I love that we're talking because obviously I'm obsessed with you, but I'm also just like so happy because this means I'm finally done with this book, which is thrilling.
Okay, so the book is called Pool House. Here it is. It's got a perfect cover. You are the queen of a good cover. You've had 4 great covers.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Do you weigh in?
I do weigh in. I'm a big weigher inner. And I learned actually that in YA, some people don't weigh in, some people do. I weighed in a lot. Like I sent like drawings and like signage and like vibes and like playlists and like, you know, like all of these like different artists and things like that. And for this one, I also weighed in. But apparently it's less, dare I say, traditional to weigh in the adult world.
I think it just depends on like how involved in the publishing world you are. Like if you kind of like have the chops, you can weigh in. But if you're like a debut author, I feel like they're a little bit more like, mm-mm.
Well, I actually think I've spoken to other authors, and apparently some people prefer not to weigh in, which is unusual. But also, like, I don't know your process. I don't know, you know, not my rodeo, not my clowns, not my anything. But like, I think it's like, I think it really depends on like the publisher and the relationship and the vibes. And so but they were very, very nice. They were very patient. But I do know that when I was like, hey, can I just talk to your art director real quick? They were like, no. Or they were like, no, not like no, but like confused. And I was like, oh, this is not something that happens. But everyone was so nice. Everyone was like so, you know, and these guys are pros. Like they know what they're doing. I did open the conversation with like, so I'm thinking kind of like, how much is it to clear a Hockney?
I'm sure they love that as a starting place.
Like I like to open big. I like to open emphatic. No, because I also just wondered. I was just like, it's books. Like how many?
Did they give you an answer?
No, they didn't. But they were but even as like a sort of like, like the first signal, like how do they take something like this? They were so gracious. Like they didn't like just yell at me being like,
they were just like, get out.
Yeah,
this is why we don't want authors in these fucking meetings.
This is why you guys are forbidden. This is verboten. No, they were very, very patient and gracious. And we kind of like worked from there. And I did end up speaking with the art director, who is wonderful and has done so many iconic book covers. And so at that point, it was much more that I had a lot of opinions about, just like small things, like something as simple as I think that in a sans serif font, like Pool House, like on the spine, I was just like, I think having my full name on there is weird. Like, can we just have Choi? Like, yeah. So like just little tweaks like that. Even something like, the UK edition, they didn't have the font that we wanted. And so they were like, this one's close. And I was like, I'm going to need you to like figure out the tracking a little bit on these. It was just, I'm annoying. And everyone was so nice. Yeah.
I love it. You're just like so detail oriented. And I want to talk about that. But first, we jumped into the cover, but we didn't. You got to tell people a little bit about yourself. I actually don't know the answer to this question, which is like, what is your story with books? How did you come to being a writer of novels? I know that you were a journalist. Like, can you give us just like a little backstory? Where are you from? What do you remember reading as a kid? Like, bring us up to date.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm old as hell, so I'm not going to start at the very, very beginning.
Okay. And first there was light. Okay. And then what happened?
And then he said it was good. No, I mean, basically it's like I was never the person who loved writing. That was never, ever my story. Like I have always loved reading because mostly I love disassociating. And and I love compartmentalizing. I love leaving my body for dead as I just like traipse off into a fantasy land. So like that's been a big part of my life, just reading. And it's like everything from like Sweet Valley High to like V.C. Andrews to like random books like Adrian Mole or like Flossy Tea Cakes for a Coat, like all these very random things. And I enjoyed them very much, but I didn't like writing. It was tedious. I was always the person, if there was a written assignment, I was just like, ugh, like, why would anybody? This seems like really unnecessarily cruel. But then I went to school for fashion, but I'd always also loved magazines. And so I was just like, I will move to New York and I will go into magazines. Except, no one wanted me because I was done with school. I'd gone to school for retail and merchandising, basically like textiles and fashion. And by the time I'd moved to New York, it was to be like part of the corporate program at Saks to learn how to be a buyer. But I just, something about it, I was just like, I don't think this is it for me. And then I started interning at a graffiti magazine out of Red Hook, Brooklyn, like 22 years ago, a long, long time ago. And that's where I first started writing. And I really loved it, but I never imagined myself, because I never knew any authors growing up. Like the sort of author that I looked at growing up was like Judy Blume or like, Amy Tan. And even those particular authors, it was like, that just had nothing to do with me. It was like if they were like mer people. And I was like, I love these mer people. Like, I love you, mer person. But it was like, I didn't think that I would like, I don't know, like swim to Atlantis and like become a mer person.
And now like you're fully merred.
I'm so mer. And it's like each step feels like the kind of sort of benevolence, like almost a conspiracy, because like I'm so grateful that I learned how to write with magazines. And then I launched a magazine and that was really fun. And then I learned how to write there. And then, an agent asked me, and I had a different agent, but this agent was like, I love your work. Would you ever write fiction? And I already had an entire book by then.
Oh, you did?
I had written, I think the story is so true for a lot of people. Like some people are like, I'll write a book, and then they do. And then they're just kind of like, okay, what now? And so that's where I was.
I just like the thought of just like writing. I mean, I am a person who truly hates writing. Unlike you, who fake hates writing but does it for your job. I guess I do it for my job, but I really hate it. I hate every moment of writing. I hate every part of writing. I even hate having written. I hate that I've wasted my time writing. Because a lot of writers are like, oh, I hate writing, but I love having written.
Yeah.
No, I also hate and resent the time when I'm done having written and I'm like, I just fucking spent all this time writing this stupid thing and I could have just fucking said it once and been done. And instead I have to go back and like edit it and like come back to it another day. Like,
yeah,
I hate it.
But here's what you do like, and I know this about you. You're competitive. You like to get your point across. You like your point to be very nuanced, and you want complete, unilateral, total autonomy over the way you said it and what you intended. And so these are all true for me too. I don't necessarily like writing either. I don't necessarily even love having written. You know that. Like, you know this entire process. Like at one point, my partner was like, at what point do we celebrate? And I was like, get out. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you're like, the whole thing is gruesome.
Yeah.
But I also think there are certain things that I want to say, and this is exactly precisely the way I want to say it. And so unfortunately, like, this is the position I'm in. Like, I'm not one of these people who are like super woo-woo about it. Like, I do think it's magical. I do think transmissions come in, and sometimes I'm like, that was mysterious. But it's like, I don't love that much of this entire thing. Like, even promoting it, I'm like,
I was gonna say, I feel like that part seems like it sucks. That's the part I would like. I would love a book tour. Can I just go on book tour for you? And I'll be like, oh yes, I just love like writing and, you know, but like
that's
books.
The thing, like, you're like an actor though. You're like, you're a thespian. So like, I would gladly ventriloquize you going on tour for me. And I would just like, you could wear an earwig and I'd just pipe it into your head.
Could I actually wear like a Mary wig, like have like my like long straight black hair and like do like a full and like wear like cool clothes like you?
I will do your eyeliner every night.
See, this is a dream. I don't want to be an author. I want to go on book tour. But because I just like people and I like talking about books.
You love people. And I love people too. And I love talking about books too. And like the thing I love about being on tour, the one part I like is that even the person who is just so inconvenienced to come see me because they enjoy my writing, there is something where we're kind of like, you know, like game recognized game, where like, I know they don't want to be outside of their house either.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like in my line looking a little surly. And
That's
I'm
so
like,
funny.
And like they're wearing their eyeliner, I'm wearing my eyeliner, and they rock up, and we're just kind of like, all right, bet, like nobody like make eye contact too hard, but like this is nice, and so that's like really beautiful, and like, you know, like I don't write books that are just like for everybody, like. No. It's like, it's for a specific type of person.
Well, that's what I think is so interesting about you, because I do know that, and I also feel like if someone had told me, like, okay, Mary writes books for a certain kind of person, I never would have thought that I was your kind of person on paper. But I am. Like, I love your books and I love your writing, but I feel like, I don't know, I think I have like a complex because I think you're so cool. And I'm like, oh, Mary's like too cool.
The thing that I think a lot of people conflate blessedly, and I think this is like really, really, I'm lucky about this, is like, I think people are reading my rampant autism as like being cool. Like, I'm just sitting here being like not making eye contact because like it's like punishing to me, where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna die, like I'm gonna self-immolate from self-consciousness. And meanwhile people are like, oh, she's so aloof. And I'm like, I'll take it, but usually I'm just squirming is what's happening.
That it doesn't come off that way at all.
That's so nice.
It comes off very cool. Also, you dress cool. And like you talk about apples, you know, like being a person who's just like, yeah, no, my content is just going to be like rating apples on Instagram stories. Like, you have to have a level of like coolness to do that. Cause like a fucking herb could do that and it would be just like, ew, why are they doing fruit?
But that's the thing. What is dead ass more autistic than a person rating apples, where I'm like, this is my special interest. Like, I'm
I love it. It's cool. Being autistic is cool. Like, there's those two things are not mutually exclusive.
This is 100% what I'm saying. However, not every cool person is autistic. Blessedly, in my circumstance, like, I happen to be autistic, and people find that legible as a kind of cool, which is so nice.
I wonder how many other people I think are cool are autistic.
Well, my thing is just like telling people they're autistic, which I heard that's kind of an antisocial quality, but I'm sometimes like, we kind of flock together. Like,
interesting.
So like neurodivergent people really like attract other neurodivergent people. And so sometimes I'm like, I will open a conversation like, I'm not saying you're autistic, but if you struggle with socks and shoes, this is what I would recommend for you. And then I'll like literally like send them an entire like mood board of like, I think these are the shoes that would look amazing on you.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm obsessed with this. You on social media floated two characters that you thought were autistic. One was Zendaya in the drama. And who was the other one? Because I disagreed with the other one.
Oh, the other one was with the husband in Bellbird and Strangers.
Oh, yeah. I don't agree with that.
He seems so autistic to me.
No, he just seems like a fucking asshole.
You know what? I don't think that book lacks for assholes.
No, I think he just sucked. Like, I don't think that he's autistic.
I think he sucked, but there's something about the definitive way his like mind just shut down.
I see that as narcissistic. I would have gone full narcissist on this. We can debrief on this offline because I have more thoughts that I don't want to say into a microphone.
Okay, yeah.
But I do want to tell you because it's pertinent.
I feel like we also already got canceled like 3 times on this podcast already.
We did. And I just want to say that like Mary was leading this. Okay. I just am responding. That's my job. I just respond to other people. Please don't yell at me. Okay. This is the big question though, which it's taken me 15 minutes to get to. We're going to be so fucked. Is that this is your first adult book.
It is. I'm a debut. I'm debuting.
Okay, you're not a debut. Do you know that I have like truly violent opinions about debut when people use it when they've written 3 other books?
What if it's pronounced debut? No, that's fine. Like people have told me I'm a debut,
and I hate those people. I don't believe it. This is my stance. Okay, debut means first book. Period! ! Now, if you self-published a book, one book before, and you're traditionally publishing a book as your second book, I will give you debut. If you really absolutely must say that you wrote a short story collection and so it's your debut novel, fine. But if you have written a novel, a nonfiction book, 17 YA books, and now this is your debut short story collection, it's not a fucking debut. You have 27 books in the bank. You are just writing a short story collection for the first time. But to me, I feel like debut means like we're supposed to coalesce around you and respond to your work as like a person who has not done this before. And therefore, there's like a kind of way that I read a debut that I do not read a book from someone who's written a lot of books.
Yes, and.
Okay.
Like, I don't disagree with you. However, the one thing I will say is that, like, literary fiction or adult fiction does feel so different from YA. And I can make that distinction and without using the word debut.
This is your debut adult novel.
This is my debut adult novel.
And I feel like that is allowed because it is your first adult novel. But you're a writer. You've written great books. We've done them on book club. Like, you are Mary H.K. Choi. You're not a fucking debut. No shade to debuts. We love them. Everyone starts somewhere.
We do love debuts. I think, just to be chaotic, I think if you haven't had a book out since before COVID and you do not, hell, you're a debut. It starts.
So do you think Tiari Jones is a debut?
Yeah, and it's so impressive that she makes
It's so impressive what she's done with Kin.
Did anyone see that coming?
Not a chance. And it's good. For a debut, it's incredible.
No, I mean, like, I think the part that I'm really just trying to say is, and I do agree with you, there's so much like smoke and mirrors and tricks and stuff to make something a little more shiny than the other thing. Yeah. And we're all supposed to believe that like this thing is as shiny as that thing. I don't really care about that. What I will say in this moment, and I know that you've heard this, is that any book coming out right now feels like a subversion and a weird kind of insurrection against the tide of what is happening to the attention economy.
Yes. What
is happening in this 5-second pivot to video moment. And that part feels wild. Like when I look around, I'm like, books are so trending. However, nobody really wants new books and nobody really wants books by like authors.
Yeah. No, so this I agree with. I don't think you're a debut. What I think is exciting and shiny about you is that you are back. The return of Mary H.K. Choi to me is more exciting than Mary H.K. Choi's debut. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And I agree with you with the attention economy. I mean, I'm suffering from it. in a really serious way. Like I am struggling to read these days, like aggressively so. And I am struggling with the way that the book space has changed so much in the last few years, where there's a lot of people, and this is not, I'm not denigrating these people at all, but there's a lot of people who are not authors, people who write, people who are writing books, who feel entitled to the spaces that readers have created for supporting books and authors, and people who are like, oh, I'm a this, and that, and now I'm an author and you need to support me. And like that whole thing has been very like a struggle for me. So I'm always really excited to have someone who's like, this is my vocation. I write books. This is what I do. This is who I am. Because there's a different level of like care and respect for books and reading that I really appreciate.
Yeah, and I think that sort of delineation or that schism is terror. It is terrifying be an author.
To be an author, like a career author.
In this moment. Like I had a point at which, like a few years ago, where I was like, oh, they're all teachers. Not to say that teachers are out here making a living, but I was just like, there are like two vocations kind of equal one. And I was like, I think I'm missing the other one because like every like quarter, I almost die of starvation.
Because you're not also a teacher.
I'm not also having the stability of XYZ or like a partner in finance or like independent wealth or whatever.
You're not married to Belle Burden's ex-husband.
Which, like I could have been
you.
I don't know. But like, I say this to say that like, and also we have this like amazing sort of attention economy thing, this like viral pastry or death thing where it's like you either sell, 150,000 copies and you just live on the New York Times bestseller list, or you have a franchise. So you're like, I'm position 1, 3, 5, and 7, me personally.
Right.
And like, so all of these things are changing the landscape, and it's been really interesting to see. It's also incredibly discouraging. Like I've had different moments during this sort of tour and this release where I'm like, do I just need like $100,000 earmark to pay all of these people out of pocket in order to make enough noise that people will start to care because all of these things are in place that have nothing to do with the book. And so, I think it's this thing of like, and also, but there is an argument to be made for like, does the rising tide raise all ships, boats, bad at maritime analogies? And I say that to say that even performative readers, like people who love book aesthetic, but literally don't fucking read. Yeah. Like on one hand, it's so easy to like slander them or like, again, like you said, denigrate them or not denigrate them or whatever. But like at a certain point, I'm just like, okay, like this isn't the worst.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it remains to be seen, honestly. Like I feel like we're in this shift and it's hard. I'm like trying to gauge things in real time, like notice the way that things have changed. And also I'm like, and I'm aging out. Like I'm getting old and I feel like the kids are coming in and like it's they want a different thing, which like makes sense. Yeah. Which totally makes sense. But it's hard for me to sort of gauge like what is really happening and like how does a book take off and like what does it mean to be like a book of the moment? Because you're right, a lot of people just want to read old stuff, which honestly, like when I didn't have this job, I read old stuff. Like there's lots of good old stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. Hella old stuff. Or even like just the author that you missed, that you kind of like let them settle and you're like, no, I have 4 of their books. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah. And meanwhile, they're like, pre-orders are very important. Yes. And you're like, this book came out in 1987.
Yeah, you're like, and I still like, I know like Percival Everett. I'm like, I'm still working my way through, babe. You wrote a book a year for 40 years. Like, can you take a break so that I can read something else? And also, a lot of people only read a few books a year.
Yeah.
That's the other piece of it.
And that's like kind of okay too. Like, yeah. I mean, like none of this is a moral issue. I think what we're saying here is that like, I, for some reason, once again, did one. So like, here we are.
Okay. And so what for you was the biggest, like, it could be a good or a bad, it could be a hard or an easy, but like, what was the biggest sort of shock of going from YA to adult? What surprised you?
I think the timeline and the way momentum feels. Like, so, and actually I'm so grateful because I took to like Instagram and like book threads to be like, what do I need to know? And people very like unanimously and graciously were like, here's the thing about, teen books. Like if you're doing teen books, like you will get a lot of bulk orders at the front end. Like, so like months before your book even comes out, you'll get libraries, you'll get Target, you'll get like Walmart, all of these accounts that will buy a bunch of books in the beginning. When you talk about an adult book, it's usually a person's like, you know, it's like kind of like when you're like, do I need almond toe shaped ballet flats? And then you maybe like harvest them in the middle of the night, or you don't. Or you buy like your 4th jelly bra off TikTok. It's like so much of it is like impulse purchase-y. And so like you're either in a point of purchase display at a place and they'll pick you up, or they like the way your cover looks and they'll pick you up. But it's very like that sort of discovery isn't sort of time specific, and it certainly doesn't have all these like built-in indicators for how well a book is doing or how anticipated it is.
That makes sense.
It's like a lot more whim-based in a way that like I'm probably not going to see like the sort of momentum of me going out in these streets screaming like my book is coming out until the week of release, if not a few weeks after.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, because there isn't like a pre-order, I don't know, community in the same way.
Yeah,
like with like kids' books, it's like we're gonna get it into these schools, so we order it. We're gonna get it into these places, and so it happens in a like more timely fashion. Whereas with an adult book, it's like relies more on word of mouth, vibes, like just like people going into a bookstore and getting one here and one there.
And there's so many adult books.
Like, so I mean,
you have nonfiction and fiction, and then you have self-help or whatever, but largely it's like any book. So like I'm going up against like romantasy, which as a category, it's just like, it's a juggernaut. It's like unstoppable. And so like my little book about like, you know, these weird LA afternoons is going against like sweeping title, like escapist. And that's just what the situation is.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Do you worry about your kid readers who are growing up, who are still kids reading your book? Because there's lots of sex in this book.
There's so much sex in this book, but I don't worry about it because they're all old now. Like they have like come out and been like, oh my God, I read this in high school. But not only am I not in college, I'm like in my early 20s.
But what about the people who are reading you as kids now? Like they're going to be like, oh, this looks nice. It's got like a painted cover. And then it's like, here we go. Like, do you care? I mean, I know the kids are reading about sex. Like, I'm not really worried about it on a puritanical basis, but like, is there any conversation of like, what if a mom comes and yells at you or something?
I mean, the moms have been coming to yell at me for so long, the entirety of my career, because I'm not YA either. I've never not had sex in every single one of my books.
That's right.
So like,
I've read them all. You're right. Now that I said that, I'm like, yes. But what stands out in my mind in all of your books, though, is the snacks. Thank you for your service as a people of the snack.
I love snacks deeply. It's like my one most vital and important and like most like compelling calling. It's like I'm always obsessed with snacks. The first thing I do in any place that I go to is go to a grocery store or like a convenience store or a liquor store, deli, any bodega situation. I like to see the snack terrain of every town. And so that is like a terroir that is important to me. And so to have a kind of like sense of space, I think food and the way we graze is hugely important.
I'm going to call you something. I'm going to give you a title.
Okay.
After reading this book, now I've read all 4. I'm going to say that you're one of our great maximalist writers.
Oh my
I think
God.
this is true. I think this is true about you. I'm going to say right now, my 2 go-to maximalists, this is just my personal taste, are you and Kylie Reed.
Oh, great company.
I don't know if you read Come and Get It.
I have read Come and Get It. And I read her first.
Such a Fun Age.
Such a Fun Age. Read both, yeah.
So I feel like in Come and Get It, she really flexes her maximalist skills. Like there's so much just like description and like really hyper specific description of like people, objects. In your books, it's like food, it's fashion. It's just like, I don't know. There's a way that you both like render people on the page where you really just like tell us every single thing we absolutely need to know to get this person like very clearly in our brain. Because, you know, some writers will be like, oh, you know, I don't say anything. I'll just be like, oh, he wore Nikes. And it's like, sure, but like a lot of people wear Nikes. But you're going to tell me like how the Nikes are tied and exactly what model they are. And like if there's a little bit of dirt on the toe or if they're pristine. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I know exactly who that man is. And I feel like a lot of people can't do that in a way that's fun. They do it in a way that's either like, this is a high school writing assignment, or they don't do enough. And I feel like you and Kylie are great maximalists. So that's what I think.
Well, first of all, I know that you only say what you mean. And so that means a lot to me.
It's very true. I've been texting people about it. I've been like, is Mary one of our great maximalists?
Well, actually, first of all, I'll just take the compliment and say that like, that's really meaningful to me because my living like wakeful life is basically drinking from a fire hose in terms of like how much information everybody gives me at any point. I get that much information from people. Like I end up just cold reading people based on, their shoes, their hair, the way, whether they talk over me or not, like how they interact with other people, like the break of their pants, like, what kind of wash their denim is, like what their wallet looks like.
Yeah. Like
just all of that is like, I put it somewhere. And so the fact that I can like then deploy it somewhere in a book is like, I think that this is why I'm basically an earthworm. I'm just like eating dirt and pooping dirt and just like getting all this information and putting it somewhere else. But, I also, I appreciate specificity. Like I love books so much. I don't think books are just like IP for like movies or TV shows or whatever. Like I think books themselves, you can do so much with time.
Yeah.
And you can like, I love that you can just move the eye of the camera or like have the paintbrush stroke be so specific in books. But this is also to say I'm not a lot of people's favorite. Like some people love this and some people hate this. And I also think that's like a huge compliment. Like you fuck with me if you fuck with me. And that's it.
And I think like right now, I mean, one of the first things I noticed about your book, because I've been on like sort of this new tirade against first person, is that your book is not in first person. And I was like, a thrill and a joy, because there's so much first person. And I think the other thing that goes hand in hand with that is a lot of people are writing like sparser, which I generally really like. Like if it were up to me, if I was going to have mediocre sparse or mediocre maximalist, I'm going to take mediocre sparse every time. But good maximalist is really cool. Like it's like a fun thing. And I don't feel like a lot of people are doing it these days.
Well, thank you so much. But I mean, same though. Like I'm jealous of people who can be like, who have brevity and elegance. Like there are people who can closely observe with minimum words. I think Katie Kitamura is one of these people. And like I think that's like, there's a precision in that I really, really enjoy. But it's not what I do. Yeah. And it's also not how I see the world. But, I texted you at some point when I sent you this book where I was like, I don't know if you're going to hate this book. Like, what if you hate this book?
Why did you think I was going to hate it?
I think it was just like, I don't know. I think my fear was that you don't suffer fools. And so like, I wondered if you thought this was like indulgent in a way. So the fact that you're like, you actually nailed the maximalism.
I do think it's indulgent.
But this reassures me that
I do think it's indulgent. And you're right. It isn't something that I would normally like. Like, because I guess we should tell people what the book is about. We're 30 minutes in. I'll tell you guys quickly what the book is about. Basically, it's about this mother and daughter. The mother is a Hollywood actress. She had this like sort of weird, almost like reality movie thing that she did, experimental thing. It made her very famous. It was like they were just following her basically in this one room, and there was sex and like kind of weird. She has a daughter as a single mother, and then she goes on to be on a sitcom with like a husband and a son, and the husband, who becomes her lover on and off for years, none of this is a spoiler, he dies at the start of the book. And it's about the son from the show, the real life daughter, and the mom, and they're sort of just like in LA kind of being like icky. They're all kind of icky. Just like, I don't know. It's a little like yucky people, which again, I don't normally like that. I like hot people or bad people, but icky people creeps me out. And it's really just like them kind of like hanging out, kind of like being around each other and jockeying for position and power and sympathy, et cetera, et cetera. And all of those things on paper, I don't think that I like. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the icky people part a ton. I was just like, oh, you're not going to like any of these characters. However, I think that this book was a challenge to me, and a challenge that I really wanted to sort of dive into is that like, I'm I'm an adult. I'm getting older. Like, I know how alloyed we are. I know that my first 3 thoughts are guaranteed icky and self-serving and like really, really self-indulgent and selfish and all of these things. And I really wanted people to be ultimately very lovable, but like very questionable.
Yeah.
And like, they all think that they're doing the right thing. Like, that's the part which I love about, that I love about all people that I have a lot of like compassion and just like affection for, is that like, we're all doing our best. There isn't a single villain who's like not genre blind.
Right. Okay, we have to pivot. First, we have to take a break, and then we have to pivot to your reading life. So we'll be right back. We're back. I did not prep you for this part, so don't get mad at me. But this is Ask the Stacks, where someone has written an email to askthestacks@thestackspodcast.com, and we're going to give them a book recommendation. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this comes from Emily, and they say, my husband is interested in reading more, and so far, audiobooks have been working for him. He really enjoyed the audiobooks for the Murderbot series and Project Hail Mary, but he wants to branch out from sci-fi. No character-driven literary fiction here. The man likes plot. He wants something that's fast-paced, has an intriguing premise, maybe some mystery, ideally some humor too, and most importantly, on audio. He's been enjoying fiction, but I think the right nonfiction could be fun too. What are some audiobooks you'd recommend?
Oh my God, Patrick Radden Keefe.
Okay, I couldn't do it, but that's what I wanted to do. I'm so glad you did. I recommended him last month. I recommend him every day. Also, in your newsletter, you called him the Litternut's boyfriend, and I just want to be really clear with everyone. He was my boyfriend first.
However, how many boyfriends do you have?
I have at least... Summer is finally here. It is my favorite season. There is so much good stuff happening over here at the Stacks. You all know about the podcast. Of course you do. You're listening to it right now. But do you know about the Stacks Pack on Patreon and my newsletter Unstacked on Substack? Listening to this show supports the work I do. It goes a super long way. But if you want to go the super duperest, longest, most extra miley way, you should consider supporting us on those platforms. You get perks, and it makes it possible for me to make the show. Plus, between now and September 22nd, any paid member of the Stacks Pack on Patreon or a subscriber to my newsletter gets my nonfiction reading guide. It is 30 nonfiction books that I love. It is exclusive to both of those platforms. And you know you want it. Plus, it'll be gone come September 22nd. So you've got to join. And in addition to getting the nonfiction reading guide on the Patreon, you've got access to our book club meetups, to our private Discord. You get a bonus episode. You get the mega reading challenge. And then in the newsletter, you can hear me give all of my hot takes on books, pop culture. Every month, I rank every book I read in order from least to most favorite. I'm giving you the inside tea on all of these books. You also get that bonus episode each month. Making this podcast is a collaborative effort, and by supporting the Patreon and the Substack, you allow me to make this podcast alongside my incredible team so they can do what they do best. So if you're looking to meet other bookish friends, if you want to hear more book conversation, join me on Patreon, Substack, or both. You could join the Stacks Pack at patreon.com/thestacks, and you can subscribe to the newsletter at tracythomas.substack.com. And both of those links are right there in the episode description. All right, see y'all in the Stacks. When I started the Stacks, I learned pretty quickly that having my own business was going to involve a lot more than just reading great books and talking to my favorite authors. There were episodes to schedule, scripts to write, logos to create, social media to manage. And as you all know, my to-do list was endless. I was spending so much time sorting through all of these logistics. It was hard to find time to actually read books. When you're starting your own business, it helps to have a tool that can simplify everything so that you can focus on what actually matters most to you and your business. And that's why I want to introduce you to Shopify. Shopify makes starting your own business feel seamless with hundreds of ready-to-use templates to build your brand identity. They've got AI tools to help you write copy and enhance images. They've got built-in marketing tools to create bespoke emails and social media campaigns to reach even more people. And the best part is you can manage all of your tasks in one place, which makes your life easier and your business operate way more efficiently. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, from household names to startups. And you know what? Now might be a perfect time for you to add your business to that list. Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/thestacks. Go to shopify.com/thestacks. That's shopify.com/thestacks.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Jason Reynolds.
Jason Reynolds. But I was, okay, nobody was as hot for Patrick Radcliffe as me in 2021. People knew about him. People were like, Say Nothing is great. But I feel like when Empire of Pain came out, I really hit the fucking floor running for him. And now everybody's in love with him. Gilbert Cruz at the New York Times on his episode, he sounds like he's like swooning in the conversation.
Did I tell you I had dinner with him once? Boom.
Gilbert or Patrick?
Patrick.
Well, I met Patrick and I told him, I call you my boyfriend online. And he said, I love that. And I said, I'm so glad to hear that.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like even IRL, and you know this doesn't happen. And like, granted, I had a group dinner. It was like a very nice thing. But he is like so
swoon-worthy.
Yeah, he's so swaggy and so like effortless. Like,
so effortless. It's just he's a nerd.
He's just a nerd with a fantastic head of hair.
Great head of hair. And you know he's nasty with the pen. Like you know that the skill is right there. You know what I mean? It's like it's just lingering right there.
But I think the thing that he does really beautifully, non-creepy wife guy. Boom.
Non-creepy wife guy. Don't bring up the wife, okay? Justina, that's her name. No, he seems overall pretty good. I'm sure he's got like at least one fucked up political thing going on that we don't know about. Like, cause like all white men do. There's like probably something weird that he's like into that's like, ooh, no. But for the most part, I haven't found it yet, you know?
That, and also like, it says a lot that whatever it is, if it ever comes out, like I think that if that day comes, we'll be like, huh. Rather than
yeah. I think like, it'll be I think it'll be
It'll be
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's who I would recommend, and you can't recommend that, but I think we did a good job.
That's great. That's the correct answer, Emily. I chose not to do it because I don't like to just only recommend Patrick Radcliffe every day.
You only speak in affiliate links.
Yeah, exactly. But here's three that I have for you. So one is anything by S.A. Cosby, his fiction. They're like thrillers. They're kind of violent. They're very funny in a dark way. And they're narrated by, I think all of them are narrated by the same guy. And I can't remember who it is, but he's fantastic. So I recommend that.
Narrator is so key.
So key.
Hugely key.
My two nonfiction answers. One is an obvious, this is a 10 out of 10 nonfiction audiobook. It's almost where everybody started with audiobooks, and it's Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. A celebrity memoir on audio is perfection. And, you know, when they read it out loud and they do other stuff. So if your husband is at all interested in Trevor Noah, or even not at all, because this is like a really good memoir, but any celebrity he's into, though sometimes with the men's memoirs, they get a little ick. Like, I'm not recommending like Matthew McConaughey.
I was going to say,
I mean?
like, is it the green lights or whatever? Like,
I don't know that you have to do that, but I do feel like, I don't know, a lot of the like women's celebrity memoirs are fantastic.
I will say about the Matthew McConaughey one, if that is your thing, it's so your thing.
Yeah, if he's your thing, go for it. But I can't vouch for every male celebrity memoir in the same way that I feel like I can for the women one. And then the last one is a book that I love that I had no idea I was going to like. I started on audio and then was inventing tasks so that I could keep listening to it, which is A Better Ending by James Whitfield Thompson. In the 1970s, his sister is ruled as a suicide, but the sister was married to a cop and the cop found the body and they were like, it's a suicide. And then like years later, the author goes back and sort of like reevaluates and digs into the story of his sister's death. And was it a suicide or was it something more nefarious? And it's just like a really good family memoir kind of story. Like you're learning about her, you're learning about him, and it's so compelling. Like cannot stop listening to. It's one of those books that if I had read it on the page, I probably wouldn't have read it, but on audio, I was like, this is a banger.
There's so many books on audio that I wouldn't have read on the page, but like
including Strangers by Belle Burden.
Yeah,
1,000%. If I had to read that, I would have been like, no, thank you. But hearing her say it, locked in.
I will also say that, like, I mean, how was that story not sus from jump? I mean, I guess, like, the cops piece was, like, less sus then or something?
Yeah, and I think
know.
she had, like, I can't exactly remember the details, but she had, like, a miscarriage, and so they were like, she's sad.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, Emily, let us know if your husband reads any of our picks, how we did. And everyone else, send us book recommendations at askthestacks@thestackspodcast.com. Okay, Mary, over to you. 2 books you love, 1 book you hate.
Hate?
Come on, you knew this was coming.
I know, I do. You are so vocal.
Not vocal. That's a nice way of saying it.
Did you read Rachel Kong's short story collection?
I didn't. I've heard it's great.
It's enchanting. Great. And actually, it's like, it's even good if you don't like short stories. And what I mean by that is that, like, each one is so deeply weird and like stands alone in such a specific way. And her brain is so like, she's the type of person who like loves nature and natural phenomenon and like learns about it. So she's basically like the type of person that finds quite a bit to be quite miraculous, but is smart too. Yeah. So that's like amazing. Do you know Ed Yong?
I know.
Yes, you know how like that too, like so smart and like so like bowled over, like kind of that vibe.
Okay.
So that's something I really loved. I just started reading for some reason like all of Ruthie Thorpe's books. I mean, probably because Margot Has Money Troubles came out, the show on Apple. And I just read all the books and then ended on Margot. And so all of those were incredible, like Knockout Queen, like Girls from Corona Del Mar, like, and reading them all at once was really, really good. And I did the same thing with Melissa Broder. Like I had never, for some reason, I'm like a dyed in the wool bulimic person. Like I'm just like, my thinking is bulimic, even if I'm not purging, like I'm always binging somewhere.
My thinking is bulimic.
It's just bulimic. It's like lots in, lots out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I had never read Milk Fed, which blew my mind. Like just the way she talks about bodies, the way she talks about feeling, just the way she talks about like obliteration, like, and love and sensuousness, like all of that, like I love so much. And so a book I hated isn't a book I hated. I'm sorry, but I will say I didn't love the adaptation of Vladimir. That's all I'm going to say. Are you going to make me pick an actual book to hate?
An actual book that you hate?
Fine.
Nothing will make you more likable to my listeners than you telling us what you hate. This whole bit of I can't say it, we don't like that around here. What we want is for you to be fuck Holden Caulfield or whatever, you know?
I will say, fuck the twist in Yesteryear.
Okay, I just fucking hated that book.
I just stopped the fuck right there. I was like, I was into it. I was like, oh my God, go off. La, 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 la. I'm stalled at when the twist happens, and I don't know if I can continue.
Well, let me just tell you, it actually, and I mean this in the most honest and kind way, gets worse from there. The book gets considerably worse in the last, 50 pages.
But I love cynicism. I love exactitude. But then, okay, for example, like the movie that John, we were just talking about this online. He's your friend. He's a comedian. He's an actor.
John Early.
John Early's movie, right?
Yes.
Where it's kind of about like content creators and like going viral. And like that direction looks incredible. Like,
but I don't think Yesteryear does that.
And it doesn't, but I'm just saying, like, that kind of exactitude I'm here for.
Me too.
And
then you have to do that right.
But a twist on that too, I'm good with. This twist, I'm stuck.
Well, save yourself. Okay. What are you reading right now?
I am reading, God, what do I read? This always feels like, you know what I'm actually reading?
What?
Weirdly. I'm reading Milan Kundera. Like, I'd never read The Unbearable Lightness of Being.
Oh, I've never read that either, I don't think.
And I was so ready to be annoyed. Like, I think I picked it up. I was like, are you manosphere? Which is kind of largely my question for everything.
All men.
But there is something in the formatting of it and like the world building and the way he like jumps from chapter to chapter to talk about something completely unrelated, seemingly, or will like almost like do one of these where he's like
scrolling in on it, like, zooming in on his
zooming
phone.
in on the definition of something or like a word that he just used to describe something. And I find that kind of like peripatetic non-linearity to be really exciting for my brain right now, because obviously all I can think about is how to make people like my choices that I made in this book. And so there is something really edifying about reading something that really feels like they don't care.
Interesting. You're now making me interested in reading it. I do like when a book sort of zooms in or
it does like a weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like Patrick Raddenkeefe does so well.
Totally.
Like he just jumps all of a sudden. You're like, Rwanda, 1972. I'm like, bitch, weren't we just in London? What the fuck?
You know what? Famesick does this really well.
Oh, you liked Famesick. I feel like I should not read Famesick because
have it read to you.
Like an audiobook or like a human being?
Yeah.
Oh, like find a person on the street. Like, will you please read this aloud to me?
Not there. 1.2 speed. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. If I was going to read it, it would definitely be audio. I don't have any feelings about her. And I feel like you have to have some feelings about her to read the book.
I had no feelings about her.
Really? None. I've never watched an episode of, that's not true. I watched one episode of Girls, the first one.
Exactly.
I don't care about her and I don't follow her. And I find her to be totally just like, yuck, not for me.
Same. However, that's why I was so shocked to be into her. And that's why I wrote a whole newsletter about it. And that's why I was just like, do I need to watch Girls? Because I'd never watched Girls either. I'd watched that first pilot episode. And for some reason, there's an Asian girl at her office who's like, you know, that classic stereotypical Asian girl who's like really, really competent. And I was like, fuck this, I'm not watching it. But I don't know, because what Famesick does really, really well is it just talks about the sort of perversion of being famous and celebrity and like what that actually does to your body. I mean, actually, Famesick is actually a book about inflammation.
Okay, you're convincing me. Both you and then also I feel like Jay Wortham asked me about it too. Like, are you going to read this? And I was like, I don't know. Should I? And I can't remember if they said that I shouldn't or that they hadn't yet and they wanted to know if I was going to do it. Because, you know, I get a lot of those messages. Like, have you done it yet? And then I'm like, no. And then they're like, well, can you do it and tell me?
I think Jay Wortham is doing it.
That's what I think too.
Because I had done it. And I was just like, I have thoughts. And we were texting briefly about it. So like.
Okay. Well, now I want to do it so we can be in a group chat about it.
We'll be in a group chat. And even if you hate it, I'm so here for you telling me why you hated it.
Okay, well, obviously I will. Okay, we should tell people. I mean, people will know by the time they hear this, but in case you missed it, for book club, we're doing perhaps Manosphere, perhaps not, The Alchemist.
I feel like Alchemist predates Manosphere. Like, it's kind of like...
Okay, so let me tell you why we're not going to talk at all about our thoughts and feelings about the book.
Because that was part of the deal.
That's part of the deal. But what you all need to know, listeners, is that we picked this book because we want to earnestly read it. We're going to give it a fair shake. We've both read it in the past. We both didn't like it.
We both resented it slightly.
Yes.
If I'm
yes, correct.
Correctly. Yeah.
But we're going to read it now. And the reason that I want to read it this month, despite all the eye rolls from all of you at home, is that I have this thing that I've been thinking a lot about the books that have shaped our current political, cultural climate. And this predates Manosphere, but I think everyone who invented Manosphere read this book and it changed their life. And I want to know if that is present in the text.
No,
like if I can feel that thing. So that's what I'm kind of reading it with an eye towards. That's all we'll say.
So you basically want to know if it's like giving like Ayn Rand or whatever.
Yes, I do. I mean, that's another book, like The Fountainhead. I did read half of the Turner Diaries this year. I couldn't finish because I thought it was going to be bad, like this is so racist, but it was going to be like compelling. But it was so bad, I couldn't read the sentences. The racism wasn't that bad. I was like, yeah, okay, N-word, whatever, bye. But it was like black people are going to rape women. And I was like, yeah, I know you guys think that. But it was like the writing. Oh my God, it was unbearable. I had to stop and I was so excited to read it. So hopefully The Alchemist will be slightly
Hopefully it'll be good. I mean, like, we're not trying to like rage bait ourselves.
No, I want to read it and just see like, why do so many men in their 20s think this book is so important?
I mean, I hope it's like inspiring to me. Like,
I hope so too. I sort of hope
question.
that I could become an alchemist person.
Me too.
I'm like, I need a quest. So that's what we're reading for book club this month, in case you missed the announcement. All right, here's what I want to know about you. What's your ideal reading setup? Location, time of day, snacks and beverages, temperature, accoutrement, accessories.
Okay. So I have a really like pathetically laughable situation, which is that I have 2 couches in my house. One is not good for reading.
Okay.
It basically doesn't have any arms.
Okay.
The other one is really uncomfortable, but there's one part of it that's perfect for reading. So there's a corner piece in my like sectional situation that's like a little baseball mitt. Your butt goes right in the middle, and it's incredible. And it has like a very, very small footstool that becomes a coffee table. That is my ideal situation. I have put a sconce there because I do not like overhead lighting. So we have like a warm Scandinavian sconce in the corner. That is my ideal place. I love to read in twilight, if not like golden hour. There's something so indulgent about being like, it's light outside and for some reason I'm reading. I like minimum 2 beverages, usually 3 or 4.
Okay, and what are they?
Several temperatures. So I have water at room temp, large jar, like mason jar.
Okay.
Then I have a soda, like some sort of carbonated effervescent situation with ice cubes, smaller jar.
Okay.
And then I like to have a large mug. Nothing I despise more than like a ornamental tiny mug. I want a large mug of tea. You have good mugs. We've talked about this.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And we have specific tastes in teas. So this is a non-caffeinated tisane family type tea. And then, not strictly a drink, but I think qualifies, I will make a frappe.
Oh, with like the coffee, like in Greece.
Like a decaf frappe with almond milk and sugar-free vanilla syrup. I'm a monster. In a Ninja Creamy. So that gets a special long spoon, all of these. And then another snack, crunchy, salty. Another snack beyond that, sweet, usually chewy.
Okay. And this is what I need people to know right now. If you come on this fucking podcast and you have an answer about snacks and beverages that is less than what you just heard, think again, people. This is what this question was written for, and this is why we are friends.
Now, if you don't have like multiple vessels to put different formats of
and
snacks
specific, like this, my everyday walk around the house mug must have a ton of ice in it.
Ton of ice.
When I drink out of just a glass, not a drop of ice in it. Not a piece of ice. Must be just cold from the fridge. Not room temp, just cold from the fridge. Yeah. I do not like ice without a straw. I do not want it coming when it's like, I'm like, get this out of here.
Totally. Also, then it's splashback, the whole thing.
The whole thing. But people who are just like, oh, like, what's your snack and beverage? And they're like, coffee. I'm like, how do you take it? How big is the cup? Do you want it warm? Do you want it cold? Do you want it piping hot? Will you get up and reheat it? Like, what is happening? Who's making the coffee? Are you buying the coffee? Or do you have a coffee maker? Do you have a fancy espresso maker that your partner just got because you guys went to Italy a year ago? Like, I need details.
Totally.
I'm sick of the general shit. Give me your drinks and snacks, people.
You know why I think? Everything else is AI.
Every guest I've ever had on the show is AI.
No, just because like, we have very specific needs.
This is why I want to hear all these details. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is, but like like you can say any answer to any question and it will be legible and it will be plausible. However, tell me who you are. Like,
that's right.
That snack question is basically the equivalent of like, what am I looking at versus, you know, that thing of in like books where like the protagonist walks across a mirror and like describes what they see. I'm like, oh
yeah. No, thanks.
How do people treat you? Yeah.
I'm just so glad that you've given me an answer I can hold on to, because I've been starting to get tired of the question. I'm going to be honest. I've started to get bored with the answers. People are just giving me like, oh, popcorn. I'm like, okay, like,
oh
what?
My God.
Are you microwaving it? Are you making it yourself? Like, what popcorn? This is your dream reading situation. It can't just be chips. Do you know how many chips there are?
Totally. I mean, popcorn to me then is, for me, microwave plus popcorn seasoning, dill flavored.
Ooh, yuck. I hate dill.
Love dill. And then Maggi sauce.
What's Maggi sauce?
It is a European, it's like soy sauce, but it's like a flavoring and it's like a lot more going on. And sometimes even on top of that, I will throw on some fucking, what's it called? The vegans fuck with it. Nutritional yeast. Yeah.
I love this. Okay, we have to come off snacks, but not forever.
Okay.
What's the last book you purchased?
The last book I purchased was the paperback edition of my friend Kevin Wen's My Documents. Because I was a conversation partner with him. And I always love to support the thing. Just because you're going doesn't mean you can't buy the thing.
Yeah. What's the last book that made you laugh?
This isn't the last book that made me laugh, but it's the book that immediately popped into my brain when you asked that question, which is Tony Tulathamuti's Rejection. Yeah.
What's the last book that made you cry?
Heart the Lover, Lily King.
What's the last book that made you angry?
Probably Strangers, Belle Burden.
Okay. What's the last
book? Also,
book
Yesteryear.
Rage. What's the last book that made you feel like you learned a lot?
Like, was tricked into learning a lot? Probably like London Falling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn it, Patrick. Stop making us learn things. What's a book that you feel proud that you've read?
I did read Anna Karenina, but here's the thing. Normalize reading an entire book and not remembering shit about it. Because that's definitely my story.
Me. Okay, what's a book that you're sort of embarrassed that you still haven't read yet?
I still haven't read Wuthering Heights.
Me neither.
And I still haven't seen the movie either.
Me neither.
Should we watch it together?
I don't
you don't want to? You're skipping it?
I don't
entirely?
I have so little watching time in my life. And I love sports. And so if I'm watching, I'm doing sports.
Sports is so time consuming. If you just cut out sports, you'd have so much more life.
Yeah, maybe. But then I wouldn't have the same level of joy that I have. My hottest take is that the greatest narratives in the world are sports narratives, are sports, watching sports. Better than any book I've ever read, better than any movie, any TV show.
So often I will still watch a sports documentary because I just get tricked into being like, the stakes are really clear. The stakes
are so clear.
They're wearing uniforms.
Yes, there's teams, there's stakes, there's a clock. It's like in fiction, you have to like create a clock, like to give it. It's like, no, but the stakes are there. The clock is right the fuck there. Like even in baseball, there's no clock, but you got 2 outs and you only have 1 left. Like, come on, it's drama.
Do you watch all the sports?
Baseball, basketball, American football, not as much as I used to. The soccer, some. Not the hockey. Tennis, yes.
I love that you made it domestic. You're like, the American footballs? Yeah. Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much with the American footballs. Is there a book that you love that you think people would be surprised to know that you, Mary H.K. Choi, love it?
This is like trying to think of a joke off top. And also, I should totally be prepared. Like, I knew I was talking to you. Like,
well, I don't always ask this one.
I like a lot of like really basic books.
Okay, that's fine.
Like I would read any book that's like in an airport pretty much and happily.
Yeah.
Like
I like an airport book at the right time.
I don't always love the dad espionage books. I will say that.
There's a certain kind of cover that I dislike.
Well, because those feel like jingoism. Like anything that feels too American, I'm not super into. Oh, I haven't read this book, but I would. I really want to read the Viola Davis, James Patterson book.
Oh. I don't really want to read that.
Is it Viola?
Probably. I think it's Viola.
It is Viola. Made her an instrument.
It's fine. Her body is an instrument because she's an actor.
It's true. It's true.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you. Who would you want to write? Oh, wait, no, I have 3 more. Sorry.
Okay.
One is, who would you want to write the book of your life? Like your life story?
I'm not even kidding, but like no one.
Okay.
Like, get out of there. What do you do? Like, who goes there?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. If you were a high school teacher, what's the book you would assign to your students?
Like, am I a creative writing English teacher?
Whatever. You can be whatever kind of teacher you want.
I don't know. This is just on my brain. Lily King, Father of the Rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never read her. Last one. Stole it from the New York Times.
Great.
If you could require the current president of the United States of America to read one book, what would it be?
Oh my God, the current president?
Yes, the current one.
I don't think I am ever naive enough to believe that the most compelling book that could potentially act as some kind of propaganda or like reality check about like, because like any book that I even recommend about like, you know, like Molly Crabapple's book or whatever about like Palestine and Israel, like it's not going to change anything.
No.
That question is strangely very disappointing. I mean, very depressing. Like, I don't think
I resent the question now. Unfortunately, every episode of the show where we, like, whoever does book club with me, I have asked this question to. And
what if other people like said that
first term Trump was different. There was a different energy about what kind of person he was or could have been.
Like people actually tried to make entreaties, right?
Yeah. And then like I remember being so excited when Biden came to office. I was like, we might get like better answers. And then they were fine. But like definitely more interesting because people believe that Joe Biden could read a book. Like fundamentally, a lot of times whenever I ask a question with Trump, it's like, can he even read? And I'm like, well, we just have to assume that he can. But it's sort of, the question has sort of started, I like started to hate the question because everybody's just like, this sucks. And it does suck. But I'm also like, well, we do this every episode. I want everyone on record for this. Sort of like a time capsule of the moment. But, you know, some people do like, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss or whatever.
Well, there's this book. It's called We Found a Hat, and it's by John Klassen. It's a children's book. So I do think he's capable of reading it, which I think is really important. But it's basically about what happens when there are finite resources or there are resources that are fewer than the number of you, and what happens and how you can find peace and solidarity within that.
With a hat. I love this. Everybody, this has been a wonderful conversation with Mary H.K. Choi, Queen of the Snack, woman of my heart. Her new book, Pool House, is out on June 9th. This episode is coming out on June 3rd, which means you have time to pre-order or make a plan to go to your local independent bookstore on Tuesday, June 9th to get the book. You have 6 days. It will be out then. I feel like you should make that plan with yourself and all of your friends and neighbors.
Totally. Because, as we all know, pre-orders are really important. And every single book that is sold between whenever and the first week counts towards that first week. And that makes a huge difference. So
it does. So really you all could get a jump. You could make a huge difference in Mary's life. And also you can make a huge difference in this podcast, because if we affirm Mary and her love of snacks, we will hopefully get more authors who take this question seriously and stop fucking around with my time. Okay. And then Mary will be back on June 24th for our discussion of The Alchemist, which I cannot wait for.
Yes.
Mary,
Yay.
I love you. Thank you so much for doing this. You are absolutely the best human ever.
I love you too. I'm so, so happy that we got to do this. And I hope to see you in LA when I'm in LA. Like,
I'm going to come. And I'm going to see you. We've got more to talk about after we hang up on these people.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, people. Bye. We'll see you on the stacks. All right, y'all, that does it for us today. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you again to Mary H.K. Choi for joining the show. And a special thank you to Kat Keeney for your assistance in making this episode possible. Our book club pick for June is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And we'll discuss the book with Mary H.K. Choi on Wednesday, June 24th. If you love The Stacks, if you want inside access to it, head to patreon.com/The Stacks and join The Stacks Pack. And you can check out my newsletter at tracythomas.substack.com. Please do me a favor right now. Look at your phone. make sure that wherever you're listening to this podcast, you are subscribed to the show on that platform. And if you're listening through Apple Podcasts or Spotify, just take this moment right now while you're looking at your phone to leave us a rating and a review. It helps people to know what they're going to get when they listen to this podcast. So go ahead, give me those 5 stars. Tell people why you love it. For more from The Stacks, you can follow us on social media at The Stacks Pod on Instagram, Threads, and now we are on YouTube. And you can check out our website at thestackspodcast.com. This episode of The Stacks was edited by Christian Duenas with production assistance from Sahara Clement. Additional support was provided by Cherie Marquez, and our theme music is from Tigirgis. The Stacks is created and produced by me, Tracy Thomas.
Why does Progressive work hard for truckers? Because truckers unite the world. They unite kids with their first drum sets and parents with earplugs. But truckers can't do this if they're not on the road. That's why Progressive has over 360 heavy truck employees to help truckers stay on time and on track. Quote truck insurance today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you might not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.